When you wish upon a stardust, your wildest dream hack will come true.
Stop. I swear to fuck, we're stopping using XSplit. I will use anything but this shit program. Welcome, everybody, to a very empty episode of Esports Canada TV, episode number 40, to be exact. I am solo right now. We do have audio from our 4 people who are also here with me, but Tony Tran decided to screw us all and not show up, and he is the only person with Skype Premium. That is his one and only job, and he messed it up. So he's not here right now, and so we're trying to get Skype Premium on the go so we can use quad calling to show all of our beautiful faces and not just my own. I know that is the main draw here at Esports Canada TV, but we do want to showcase our guests as well as, I guess, to a lesser extent, Nick and Frank. So, Frank, how are we doing with Skype Premium right now?
Well, now that you said that, I'm not sure that I'm going to go through with this.
Tony Tran is online.
Oh my
Screw
goodness.
you, Frank. Tony Tran is our savior. He has
I
come
just
to save
bought
us.
this joke, though.
Oh, you done goofed, bud. You done
Thanks a lot.
goofed.
It's only cost me $10 a month.
You should get him to work for you. I thought he wanted to quit his job.
He should pay me. Why am I getting him to work for me?
To pay off the debt.
What is he going to do? I'll get him to program our website.
Yeah,
So are the calls working then? What's going on?
I don't know. I don't see any video yet. So try it out.
He's not here. You lying?
He just came online. There he is. Look at that. Everyone's video works now.
Whoa, Tony got a new picture.
Wow, Tony looks great. That's very majestic of him sitting on that rock.
I didn't change my shirt.
Does it have pee on it?
No, it doesn't have
Happy.
Nick, get that ladder shirt on. Come on,
Oh,
bud.
you know you like it.
Are you even trying anymore?
I don't even try. Frank, how's ladder going?
I haven't laddered much lately. No, but seriously, I'm not happy with the shirt situation. And I don't even know what I did. I think I purchased it, but I don't actually know if I did. So I might be paying Skype $10 a month, but we're not paying. I have no idea.
Loved it. Who's our guest next week, Frank?
It's going to be people from Canada Cup, NY John, maybe Andrew Devine, maybe some other people from the Canada Cup that's happening right now. Actually, I think the finals are currently right now, so you can open up a new tab, but you're not allowed to watch that if you're not watching this. That's the rule.
That is true.
Very nice.
Sweet. Now everyone gets to watch me struggle to do these screen regions.
Sweet.
I'm going to do those first.
So,
is that a State of the Game t-shirt, Jack?
Yeah, it is.
My God. When did you get that?
Today, like 2 hours ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Straight on.
You are a true fan.
Just in time for the show.
I used to think you were like this FPS douche, and now you're just wearing State of the Game shirts.
You can bust out my Team Dignitas sweater too.
Oh, buddy.
I'm going to be right back. I swear to God. I'll be right back.
I'm doing your screen region right now, Frank, and now you're just gone.
He's gonna change.
Yeah. He's like, oh, well, we're all wearing gaming shirts, so I gotta go throw mine on. Bear with me, people. I know this is painful.
Not bad, not bad. You're getting there.
Almost. Stupid Nick up now.
Yeah.
I swear I'm gonna kill the people who made XSplit. For some reason, videos just don't work anymore.
What do you mean, like the...
Like
the
whenever I
ones
go
that
to play
you
the
make?
sting or the closing thing, nothing. It just freezes
So sad.
halfway through.
So sad.
And I have to click away and switch scenes and then go to a different one. It is pathetic.
There we go. Our last final guest.
Man, I guess we're in gaming shirts. I don't mind this. I like
That's all I
the
have.
That's all I have.
The whole closet full of them.
Oh, you
Your
have no
parents can't
idea.
take you anywhere. All right, now that we're done that and Frank's gone, we can finally start the show. Welcome, like I said before, to episode 40 of Esports Canada TV. I am your host, @QuoteInTheNet. You can follow me on Twitter and also vote for me in the Exchange on Jermaine Blogger Challenge on Facebook, and I'll link all that later. As well, my lovely co-host, he's my favorite. I'll say that because Frank's not here. Mr. Nick Song, how are you doing tonight, Nick?
Pretty good. Just while you guys were talking earlier, I had to go finish up that level on Last of Us, and it was amazing. No spoilers, but pretty happy right now.
Pretty stoked.
Pretty stoked.
And Frank's gonna come back in his
Few more.
shorts. I'll wait for him, only because he's wearing that shirt. Frank, how are
Talking
you
about me,
doing?
John?
Yes, of course I am. You're
Whoa.
gone. Obviously, I'm going to talk about you. How are you doing this evening, Frank?
I'm so good. So good right now. It's not so good earlier. Good now, though.
You had a rough week, I heard.
Rough week, John.
Rough week.
Real rough
Always
week.
a rough week.
Real rough week.
It was a real rough week. It was real
I
rough
had a
in the morning.
fantastic weekend. I went to an engagement party in
Oh.
Fundy National Park, beautiful Fundy National Park. We stayed in some chalets, got day drunk, played steamroller. It was fantastic.
It's a typical day in New Brunswick, huh?
It was. It was your standard. I drank Alpine. It was
They
great.
still sponsor us?
They do sponsor us. I got a 7 Alpine sitting right now in the fridge, getting cold. I left them in the cooler, so they were warm when I went to go grab one before tonight's show. And I'm not going to drink warm Alpine because that's just insulting to everyone.
Are you new on the Alpine bandwagon, or have you always been an Alpine guy?
No, I've well, most recently I used to affiliate it with kind of hicks and rednecks back in like my high school days. The joke was like, oh, you'd get a 6er Alpine on the back of your 4-wheeler, and that was your weekend. But I've come to love it. It's local and it's fantastic.
Oh, good for you, John. I'm glad
Yeah.
that you've realized that you are part of the hick culture.
Jack and Steven, once we get into the questions, they can attest to Alpine being fantastic.
I went
Unless
to
they're
a
like
little bit of an
Keith's-
engagement party
Keith
too
drinkers or
for
something.
someone special.
Yeah, our president Kenneth Silva is getting married later in the summer, and so we had his. And I think this is like only a Western Canada thing, Jack and Jill party.
Oh, you don't have them in New Brunswick?
I've never heard of one.
Yeah,
I've heard of them, but I've never like attended one or know of one that happened here.
Oh, I thought they were so Canadian. I thought it was just a blanket Canadian thing.
No, when people get married, they have the common decency to have enough money to throw a wedding and not mooch off their friends. So
Well, that's cool. Cool. Or maybe they
Okay.
even get married and not just move in with their girlfriend just for the taste, huh, John?
Makes sense.
without further ado, our guests this evening, 2 fantastic gentlemen who I'm just on the cusp of working with together on a rather large, in New Brunswick terms, rather large project. And so, welcome to the show for the very first time ever. We've never had 2 New Brunswick guests, or even one. I think you guys are the first ones. But we will have Sadicus coming up as well, and he's another New Brunswicker. And we're trying to string together all these Atlantic Canadian guests. But from AtLANtic Gaming, and the land is in fact capitalized, Jack Gallant and Stephen Leblanc. Guys, how are you doing this evening?
Good, man. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. And Stephen,
I'm doing pretty good.
like that. Jack, I've had the pleasure of practicing with you lately for the Chobo Team League. I've talked about this before on the show. I'm a big fan of the Chobo Team League and everything it stands for, where players from all levels of StarCraft, from Gold to Masters, can join a team and practice with them. And then every week they get matched up against another team and they play. And it's all about learning and enjoying the game, or in my case on Friday, losing and hating
Glad to hear
yourself.
this.
So, but
What
Jack
race
was.
do you play, Jack?
Zerg.
Zerg? Oh man, he has so much to learn.
His
John
Protoss
has
is
so
his
much
Protoss is trash. I can attest to that.
John, give us the rundown of your Friday match. What happened?
Well, I'd scheduled the match for 7:30 my time, and I got off work a little early because I had gone in early, and so I got
Remember
home
this.
and I ate something, and I was like, all right, it's time to practice. So I played. I went and logged into StarCraft, and I had messaged the guy I was going to play, and I said, hey, your Battle.net ID doesn't work. What do I use? And he was like, oh, here it is, and he added me, and he was like, so you ready to go? And I was like, I just kind of got home. And he's like, okay, I'll give you some practice time. And I played a ZVT, and it was probably the worst game I've ever played my entire life. Like, it was absolute trash. Like, if we have time, I will show you this game afterwards and walk you through the replay of me just like missing hotkeys, misclicking, just losing drones everywhere. It was awful.
So
And
that's obvious.
and I was rattled. And so I just
Okay.
took like 10 minutes to chill out and calm down. And I went and played one more game as EVP, and it was actually a super strong game, and I did really well. And I was like,
Oh,
okay, I think I got this. Oh, sorry, it was the opposite. It was a ZVP that was absolutely terrible, and the ZVT was like one of my best ever. So
Oh, okay.
I was really stoked at this point. I was like, okay, I can do this. And so I messaged the guy, and I was like, all right, let's go. And it was like 2 hours before our scheduled match was supposed to happen. And I was like, all right, might as well just get it over with. And I got out to a pretty early lead, and I thought I was doing really well, harassing, denying thirds, got muted, went to go into the back of his base, and he rolled into my front door with a ton of roaches, and I just flip-flopped of what I was going to do, whether attack or defend, and then he rolled me. And I sat here in disbelief, smashed some things. I was home alone. I sent my cat to bed early, and yeah, that was my first Chobo team league experience. And
don't
we
miss it.
it was all tied up at that point 3-3 in the team league, and it's best of 9.
Oh
And so I
no.
lost, and it went 3-4, and we actually won our diamond match, so it was 4-4, and then we had to play the ace match, and we sent out our captain because there were some scheduling conflicts with who was supposed to play, and our captain went and lost 0-2. So Yaki, if you're watching this, which you probably aren't, way to let the team down.
And they lost to our team, so.
What? You're not on? Are you on Guns
so-
and Roaches?
Oh, no, I thought you played Team UR.
No. We played Guns and Roaches.
Oh, I don't know why
Are
my
you-
coach was watching your games then.
Because we're playing you. We're not even playing you this week, I don't think. Or maybe, no, I think we are actually.
Okay,
I'll have to
Jack's
maybe.
look
from
at it.
UR?
It's not
The
underrated.
community. Like
Yeah.
it's me.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's the UR
Cool.
community team.
That's still pretty awesome.
Ah.
UR is pretty good. Frank and I, we cast the URTL for the past 10 weeks. So
Yeah.
it's been a lot of fun.
And we actually had Pat McLean on 2 weeks ago, the owner of UR.
Yeah, great community.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good times.
I'm on the Clarity community team, and it's great. Love all the Clarity boys.
Okay,
I
John.
love all the
Okay.
Clarity boys.
Uh,
I do have to message Yaki right now and tell him that I'm talking trash about him on the show.
Oh, yeah, he'll come on
Oh,
stream.
I probably
Oh,
shouldn't.
thanks, John.
Yep, there we go. I was like, why'd that white out? But I've delayed this long enough. I do want to get to you guys, Jack and Steven. You were
Yeah.
gracious enough to come on the show. We were scheduled to have Sadicus, but I saw him Friday night out at the bar, and he was quite drunk and said, I'm having my wisdom teeth out on Monday. And so he wasn't able to make it tonight, and so we're going to reschedule and have him on once he's all better. So, Jack and Steven, I'll start with Jack first, and then we can get to Steven. And I'm guessing your stories are quite similar because you're both involved with the same group. But I want to know where you're from, where you live now, and how you got involved with this crazy world of esports.
All right, so I'm pretty much from Fredericton. I grew up in Oromocto. Now I live in Wasis, like 10 minutes away. I've been here all my life. I've finished my BBA degree at UMB. And basically, I started gaming probably with an original Xbox, like Need for Speed, in my room. And then I moved into playing FPS, so like Halo 2. And then I played maybe just a campaign once I got internet. And I played some Halo 3 online, and then I met Steve.
And Steve, your story?
I started playing basically shooters back when Halo 2 came out. Played that a lot. Played all the way up to getting an Xbox 360 and everything. And got Halo 3, and in that time I met a bunch of people in high school that I'm still friends with now, and I've been playing video games with them ever since, playing competitive and having LANs, and that's around the time when Jack came in.
Nice.
So.
And so you guys are owners, co-owners, organizers for AtLANtic Gaming. I stumbled upon them on Facebook not too long ago when you guys were running an event at UNB because I knew another one of the people that you were doing it with, and I was ticked off because I was like, how dare they run an esports event in my province without me knowing about it? I hope this fails miserably. And I called fire threats in the event, but I guess it went off with no problem. So tell me about AtLANtic Gaming and what you guys do and the history behind that.
All right, well, we started landing at Steve's house, pretty much 8-man lands, like 4v4s. Probably, we usually had one once a month during the school season when everyone was here. Then we just decided, well, guess I have to give a shout out to Skylar because he sort of said we should do bigger events, like bigger lands, basically than 8-man or whatever we've been doing. So then we started thinking about where we could do it, venue, and then I looked into school clubs and school societies. And basically, yeah, you just make a school society, and it's almost next to nothing to rent a venue with the school. And we had no problems for the first couple of events that we did. And we just got a venue. We started using social media to spread the word. And we actually had a really successful Halo event just after the launch of Halo 4.
Nice.
Now, Stephen, how did the progression go for these events? I mean, you said you went from Jack said you went from the 8-man lands, trying to get bigger and bigger. What was the first event compared to your most previous event in terms of growth?
Well, we added a few games in. Obviously, we instead of just having the one game that we originally had, we added both. We're going to have basically we had Super Smash Bros, which was there was a good turnout for Smash Bros. We're hoping they come back to the next one, obviously, but the turnout was getting bigger. So we're basically the next event that we're going to have is obviously going to be bigger again. So we're expecting, even maybe double or triple the people that we had at the second one. But I'd say maybe about 50 or 60 more people from the first to the second one was what we had.
Fantastic.
And,
Now, go ahead.
sorry. Now I'm gonna forget my question because you kind of.
I did not cut you off.
No, actually, I wanted to ask if you guys draw much pull from the surrounding areas. Or are you very much local lands, or do you notice like people from all around, either the Maritimes or maybe even into the Quebec province?
We had communication with, I guess there was a couple people from the Quebec that wanted to come to the Call of Duty one, but didn't have enough notice. We really had a hard time advertising for the Call of Duty one. It seemed like we had more advertising, but for the Halo 4, we went to the midnight release, and at the midnight release, that's where we passed out a lot of we only did flyers and sort of stuff like that. So we passed out to every person in the line, and that spread the word a lot faster than social media, where we were only growing on our Facebook page and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So people found out through, I think it was on Game Battles, people found out about the Call of Duty one from Quebec, but it was that weekend, and they really had no way of getting up here. So they were inquiring about when the next one would be. So we're sort of working with them. We had people from Halifax, 2 teams come from Halifax to play in the Halo one, but they were people that we've known and we've played against in tournaments at Frag for Cancer and Halo Fax before that.
Well, you guys definitely let us know at Esports Canada because we can always shoot out on our social media if you guys ever want more acknowledgement or if we can help in any way. The other thing I wanted to ask is, how do you find sponsorships going for you guys? Do you find it is it easy to get sponsorships in the Maritimes, or how's that working for you guys?
Well, basically, the main sponsor that we had originally, right off the first event, was
Is it Alpine?
Spurs.
Oh,
Yeah.
Just checking.
No,
just
unfortunately,
a bunch of guys drinking beer, and they're all like, "Yeah, we're totally sponsored by Alpine."
Yeah.
Just getting hammered off of this beer. Sorry, go on. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Yeah, it'd be nice, but we started off with a sponsorship from Blue Spurs, which is a local company here, a technical consulting firm, and basically we built off from them. They've sponsored both the events that we've had so far. It is a little bit difficult because we are FPS more rather than computer gaming. So a lot of the big computer companies like Razer and stuff are more looking towards computer games rather than the FPS ones. Yeah. So it is a little bit difficult.
Some local sponsors we found was just like Future Shop, Walmart, and Booster Juice sort of helped us out, but not to any great amounts. But I mean, every little bit counts. So
those are interesting. Those are almost some sponsors I wouldn't even have considered. I mean, Booster Juice sounds like an obvious one. Why would I consider Booster Juice? But then I think about it, and I'm like, no, that makes sense. And then I guess Walmart, obviously, you need to purchase peripherals and systems themselves in the game. So
diapers and
yeah, sponsored by talc powder. Yeah, no, that's great.
And then also through UMB, we have people. The UMB is sponsored by Microsoft, Pepsi, and the Student Union. So the Student Union's donated like close to $400 each event, and the Pepsi, like we get almost $100 free Pepsi product just from being associated with UMB. So
Oh,
that sort of
nice.
stuff helps as well.
So some people in the fighting game community have told us, obviously, fighting game community would share some similarities in that it's primarily a console-based medium, right? So one of the main problems with finding sponsors, like you had mentioned with Razer and stuff, is that they tend to focus on computers where people are buying mice and keyboards and keycaps and everything. So what are some of the main peripherals that people are focusing on for FPS? I'm assuming controllers and headsets.
That's what I would think. Yeah, a lot of like control freaks, and there's like different little local, or I guess local in the States, companies that make parts for controllers, and even like gaming jerseys have been known to sponsor FPS.
Yeah.
But it's really hard just to find someone that really wants to. Same with, I assume the fighting community has the same problems,
Yeah.
because a lot of the big companies that sponsor tournaments like Steel Series and Razer and all those, like Steve said, those companies are where their money comes. Like even if like Nvidia gives us 6 graphics cards, that would be unreal.
Yeah.
But they're not going to do that for an FPS
No.
console gaming tournament.
Well, I mean, there's one console. There are people that make the parts for the console, but AMD's not going to be like, yeah, we make the processor for that console. Like,
Yeah.
pay us
Same
money. We
thing.
get 2 cents on every Xbox that's sold. So,
Yeah, exactly.
how crucial is it? I know you've worked with UMB in the past. How crucial is UMB support in running these events?
Now, the UMB support that we had was great. When we first set up our first event, we were kind of skeptical on what we were doing at the time, and when we were setting up, I mean, they were great help. We had, everything we needed at the event. They helped us, advertise around campus and everything like that to the students and stuff for our first and second event. Um, and they helped us out a lot. Actually, it was I mean, I don't think we would have been able to do it without them. The definitely the first one was really they really helped us out.
Yeah, for sure.
I know that we've been looking to run events, and I think sticking with schools, especially around our area where it is hard to find those halls and things that are equipped with power and internet and things like that, is harder where universities are obviously equipped to hold, giant conferences, events, things like that. Because I know Mike Daniels in Halifax, he runs most of his events either at Dalhousie or at the Nova Scotia Community College. Because, computer lab, you just throw in 6 Xboxes and you're good to go for an entire weekend. I do want to get into, I know, Stephen, you were talking beforehand with all of the Xbox and PS4 info that came out recently at E3 and the absolute shit all over Xbox that PS4 has done, at least in most people's eyes. I mean, the polls that I've been seeing and comments and everything today, I know Xbox posted a comment today about pre-ordering day one consoles, and it was literally page after page of ASCII charactered middle fingers, just saying no. So there is a bit of hatred right now for choices that Xbox has made, but I do want to get into that conversation because I know I was talking with Jack about it earlier last week, right after E3 happened, and he had some different insight that I didn't really think about. And I know he said that you'd been studying pretty vigorously since the info was released, and said that Microsoft hasn't really done a good job of explaining themselves. So I want to get into that. So what do you think, right off the bat, about the whole PS4 and Xbox battle as of right now?
Well, personally speaking, the friends that I have, I mean, everyone's gonna have a different preference in consoles, but I've been talking with mainly there's two people, which is Nick Brewer and St. John Bourget. Basically, we've been all talking about how the Xbox is better for depending on what region you're in. I feel if you're in Canada or the US, obviously, there's no region lock. I mean, we don't tend to trade our games in the first place, which Microsoft doesn't allow anymore. Um, which is something big for some people. I guess a lot of people like to trade their games in. But for us, it's not that big of a deal. And it seemed like when Microsoft first announced their console, they basically threw out a bunch of bad points, and everyone was just frustrated with them. The polls were basically, there was an Amazon poll on Facebook. It was like 39,000 to 2,000 in favor of PS4, and it seemed like, since E3, there's been small little piece of information that Xbox has been leaking out that are just like, why didn't you say that, at E3 when everyone was watching you? And
But
there were
is this
a lot of
damage
good
control
points.
at this point, though? Like, are they just releasing things to try to mitigate the damage that they've done? Or do you think that they had full intentions the whole time, they just didn't let us know about these awesome or better things? What do you feel?
Well, it seems like, I guess after I don't know, it looks like they didn't think about, announcing this. They just focused on announcing their exclusive titles, which half the audience thought that, all the titles that were on both consoles, they thought that only the PS3 had it because PS4, sorry, PS4 was advertising it all. But it looks like a little bit of damage control because they, everyone's just asking these questions like, why are you doing this? What's this for? And they're finally answering them. But
Yeah.
it just seems like, the the console in general, they're both really good. They both have, um, really good exclusive titles. The infamous game coming out for PS4 looks pretty cool. Titanfall for the Xbox One, um, and both those are, exclusive to one's exclusive to Xbox and one's exclusive to PS4. Um, but it just seems like, at E3, PS4
Yeah.
took it over.
Seems
Oh,
like
man.
Sony just put some money in someone's pocket at E3
Yeah.
and just took all the good titles and we're like, yeah, we're gonna advertise them, because half the people I've talked to have just been like, yeah, I'm getting the PS4 because of the new Final Fantasy game, and I'm like, well, the new Final Fantasy game's also on the Xbox One, so that doesn't justify your reasoning whatsoever. And
Yeah.
then they tell me like, oh, well, you can't lend your games to any friends. I'm just like, well, I've never lent a game to a friend because usually I want to play with them online, so they should probably own the game for me to do that. And I've never traded in a game because they give you like $15 maybe for a brand new game that you just paid 70 for. So why would you ever want to do that, in my opinion? And then, like, to me, one of the big issues that they didn't come across saying anything that they're actually doing. Like, one of the things that you can do with Xbox is they said you can share it with 10 family members. So you can share your library. So that means that anyone that can access your library can play a game that you're not playing at the same time. So you actually, like, you can share it pretty well. Like, that's a pretty big thing that they didn't tell anyone, which doesn't really make sense why they wouldn't advertise that at E3.
The whole announcement to me, like the way everything, I mean, all the stuff that people are talking about after, it just makes me wonder what the hell were they thinking when they were in
Yeah.
the boardroom. Like, I literally don't see how a single human being who knows anything about the gaming industry said, it'd be a really good idea if we explain
Yeah.
it this way. You know, it just, everything seems to be so stupid. Like, they just didn't realize that they were talking to people.
You know what happened?
What's up?
They basically Sony sent Solid Snake in. He took out the guys who were speaking on stage, and then he acted as them. That's what happened.
Yo, so
Like,
meta.
one of the biggest things too was the Xbox. They sort of said, like, I was talking just about people in general that I work with and stuff. I was talking to about this, and they're like, "Oh, we're getting PS4," and one of the reasons they said was because you have to connect. People think you have to connect your Xbox every day to play your
That's the way it
games.
sounds, right? That's
Yeah.
when they explained it. I mean, the way they explained it, everybody gets this idea. You're gonna have to
Yeah.
do this. So if
Is
you're
that
privy
not
to
how
more
it is?
knowledge,
I feel like I've heard it explained like 10 different times, and it's
Yeah.
every 24 hours to play games you have
so
to
I mean,
connect
if you're
to
if you're
online.
the only one who knows how it actually works, then they're not doing a very good job, and they're not obviously going to get their market share back because nobody understands it the way they.
Exactly.
So go ahead, explain what you understand it as.
So, actually, Steve, you can probably take that one.
Well, there's an interview recently that I looked at with Major Nelson, who's basically high up with the Xbox One, and he stated that the reason why they have the 24-hour, basically it's used for your shared library. So if you have your 10 family members, the main idea, I guess, behind the 24-hour thing is, say a family member gets a game and they'd like to, share it with another family member. The second they get that game, the 24-hour option makes it so the family member will see that game in the library instantly. I guess that's the whole reasoning behind that 24 hours. So basically, when you can play a game.
Oh, your mic just cut out.
I muted him. Enough of this Xbox praise.
There you go. There we go. Sorry about that. So basically, there's no offline there's no offline play really anymore. The way it works, if you want to play an offline game, you have to go in and every 24 hours, like say you decide you want to play the game, then you have to connect right off the bat.
Yeah, you don't have to connect if you don't connect every day, you're not going to lose the ability to play your games and play your Xbox. But if you want to play your game after 2 weeks of not playing it, you are going to have to connect to the Xbox, like to the internet. But like you're not going to have to connect to the internet every single day. Unless you play every day.
It seems a little cumbersome. Like platforms like Steam has obviously a library that's a virtual library, and you connect online for most of them, but you're allowed to play offline. Like you still own those games. So I don't understand I mean, if I never go online again with Steam, it's not going to matter. I own those games, right? So, but with Xbox, so why all the cumbersome extra check-in stuff? And so, like, let's say I don't play for 2 weeks, and let's say I don't have internet connection, and I try to go in. There's going to be a problem then?
Yeah, then you won't be able to play because they want people. They're really trying to secure their games. Yeah, and we'll make sure that people, when they buy their digital copy of the game, that they're the only, this keeps it so that they're basically the only ones that can play it, except for the people that they share it with in that 10 family zone or whatever, or friend zone, whatever they're calling it now.
Xbox friend.
So I have a little bit of a personal beef with the way, because basically this type of enforcement it sounds like, from what you're explaining, it sounds like the type of enforcement where there's people who obviously pirate stuff and screw around with profits and stuff. So this type of system is a set of control to eliminate that sort of piracy or that sort of siphoning funds away from the company. But at the same time, it affects such a mass population of people who just want to play the games, who aren't going to be stealing stuff.
I agree. So, I think it's totally the wrong move and the wrong direction to go. And I feel like everything they're doing, they're definitely not not marketing it to any capability that I've ever seen that they should be.
Yeah. It just goes back to that weird point. Like, it just doesn't, I don't see, like, who's the idiot in that boardroom that's like, this is a good idea, write that down. Like, why wasn't there someone to say, wait, guys, you're going to be talking to some pretty intelligent people. They may not be geniuses, but they're not idiots, so let's figure this out a little better, right? So.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like, I think they're trying to move into the Steam world, like how Steam runs their thing, but they really have a lot to learn because they have to make their games available for people offline, completely offline.
Yeah, you can't take that away.
Yeah, because
you're
just losing
the option.
Yeah, they're losing all their fan base.
Yeah. No, I hear that.
Well, I mean, with every generation, there seems to be a pretty big sway between the different consoles, right? With PS3, everyone kind of swayed towards Xbox 360 because I don't know why, but I mean when
$200 less or something like that.
Yeah, I mean the price point alone was just like for kids and families, it just made more sense, right? Because I think that's where the big buying portion is kids buying the game, and so they don't care about it has to be online every 24 hours. Connect is going to be on. I don't give a shit. Let me play Call of Duty. Let me play Halo. Right? These are the games I know. It's on that system. Okay, that's what I'm playing.
I want to talk to my console, John. I don't know about you.
And just to the guy there in chat, Tricky Love, shout out to you. But the PS4 is $100 cheaper because it doesn't come with Connect. And maybe people don't want Connect, and it's kind of stupid that they sell it that you have to have Connect. But if you buy the PS, whatever it is there, the I or thing that comes with it that's like Connect except for the PS4, it's like $69.99. So you're still paying pretty much the exact same price for the same system. So the $100 cheaper thing is another blow that really a lot of people aren't looking into why it's $100 cheaper. And Xbox is moving into the whole entertainment. Like that, you can use that Xbox One as everything. So you're going to eventually be able to use it for your cable, like your digital cable, your movies. They want it so that that's the only thing you have to put in your living room so that you can do everything that you're supposed to do electronically. Surround sound, everything.
I read a really good argument today too where someone was saying all of the different things in the PS4 that Xbox has, but PS4 doesn't, can't be added. They're all hardware things like HDMI input, or I can't remember the list of different things. But any of the shortcomings of the Xbox One can all be updated via firmware or software. Like
Yeah.
having to connect every 24 hours. That's not a hardware limitation. That's just Xbox saying, hey, we'd like it if you connected every 24
Yeah.
hours, right?
Right.
So one day
Yeah.
they can stop it. PlayStation can't just say, hey, we've created another HDMI port, just plug it into your USB and you're good to go, right? So
Exactly.
I don't know, that might make a difference in the long run.
And they haven't really, like, to my knowledge, they haven't really released much on LAN play and how that's going to work at tournaments. So it's going to be interesting to see what MLG is going to do, because basically whatever console MLG picks up, they've just acquired like a ton more like a big, more like huge fan base. Is what I'm saying. Because all those people aren't going to buy the other console. They're going to buy the console that they have to play to one day go to MLG and live their dream of being a professional gamer.
That dream so far away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
But I mean,
first you
that's
buy the shirt, then
yeah.
you go on Esports Canada TV, then you go to
Baby
MLG.
steps.
Oh, this shirt right
Yeah,
here.
He's
I
made
have,
it. Steven's made it.
I have a question, and I didn't really prep this ahead of time, so forgive me if this comes out a little oddly. But I was watching a promo for The Division. Have you guys seen that game, or at least some of the?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So the reason why I want to bring this up is because obviously you guys are first-person shooters, and you're probably more familiar with traditional like team-based first-person shooter type thing. What The Division struck me as, and I think the way they promoted it was kind of brilliant in this way, is that they really brought it across. They didn't have like actors. It didn't feel like they had actors talking over the mic saying, yo, that explosion was sick. Did you see that over there? And they were just like over the top. They were talking like gamers would. They were just like, hey, there's cops behind here. Oh, sweet. And whatever, right? They were just talking like you would on a mic.
Yeah.
What I think that it does is it brings across this idea that there's this whole middle meaty area of a casual type of esports enthusiast where someone could get into this competitive play in an online shared realm, like a massively multiplayer space, but they don't have to be in a 5v5 team-based Counter-Strike or some Halo competitive competing thing. Do you think that the new consoles might be taking advantage of this even more than in the past? Or do you even see this as something that really matters towards esports? Or is esports literally, it's just going to be your 5v5s, it's just going to be team-based, you need your jerseys, you need your MLG, stuff like that? How do you guys feel about it?
Originally, I mean, so far the FPS shooters that they've made competitive have been only 4v4 or 5v5. I know a while ago there was a Battlefield tournament that they held that I think was either 16 or 32 player teams, which is completely crazy. I mean, big tournament like that. But the whole online, like, well, for Xbox that is, like making it so you have to be online every 24 hours. I mean, I feel like that's going to bring more people to play, online experience, and it just looks like, I mean, that game just looks beautiful in general.
Yeah.
And it looks like it has like an actual, shooter feel to it rather than like a kind of slower MMO. And it looks like, the people are going to have fun, calling out and playing semi-competitive well, not like fully competitive, but I don't think that game specifically will be a competitive game like through MLG or anything like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I understand. I don't, because obviously the video we saw just showed some sort of single player component. I'm assuming it was single player, but who knows what kind of multiplayer. It's a Tom Clancy game. I'm sure they could easily appropriate that for some multiplayer universe. But I just think that, like you said, the video looks great. The game looks great. But I think that might be what people look at, and they don't even realize what big things it might do for this just casual jump in, play with other people in a semi-competitive universe, and then jump out sort of thing. And that in an FPS realm, kind of like the way Counter-Strike would work anyways. People jump in and out all the time. But Counter-Strike at the most competitive levels are team-based, right? So I didn't know if that game maybe showed some sort of a new type of focus, maybe, where they're trying to get maybe more people into it, or how you felt about the consoles.
I think it's cool. I think it's a cool idea, but like once it comes to that highest level, you have to have those 4 to 5 people that you play with every day,
Yeah.
because you need the team chemistry, I think.
Yeah,
I
no,
like
I
that.
agree.
I like that. It is a cool idea for those people who are casual but still want to have the competitive feel, and I think it's a really good game for that. So those people
Yeah.
that jump in and are gonna feel like, yeah, I'm playing competitively, so this is awesome. I think it's a great game. Like I pretty sure I have it pre-ordered actually. Looks fun.
That's good. That's good. Look, guys. I know Nick's gonna be playing Destiny. Nick,
Oh,
did you
man,
pre-order it?
okay.
Are you all over it?
I'm really looking forward to that. I really like the ability to, mix in RPG with shooter elements. I mean, Borderlands was so fun.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
just the fact that, it's an open world in the sense that, you're playing with your friends, but at certain times there can be random encounters and then everyone can join in. It just makes the world seem more alive. And I'm really excited to see what Bungie's going to be doing with that.
Yeah, it looks like an amazing game. I mean, when I first heard about Bungie making a new game, I was kind of iffy. I was like, well, what are they gonna make?
What are they going to do?
It almost looked
it's
like
great.
when they were first showing it, I almost felt like they were just making a different type of Halo. Like you had this alien-looking thing, right? And then you had this guy with a covered face, and I'm like, whoa, slow down there, Bungie. I was like, come on, you're not pulling a fast one over us. But then it totally went off into a different direction with this whole Borderlands.
Sure.
Well, I think with the popularity of Halo, kind of has the sci-fi genre. Call of Duty has the war genre. It's hard to come out with a game that is fresh and new and doesn't fall into the aliens
It's
or
true,
the
yeah.
human on human, faction type wars. You have something like Borderlands come out where it's a post-apocalyptic RPG where it is fresh and new and they used a pretty creative art style. So I mean that catches people off guard and it does make it interesting, but it's hard to create a game where in the first 5 minutes it's not like, well, this just is trying to be Halo. This is trying
Yeah.
to be Call of Duty.
I just really think, in my opinion, like for competitive gaming, I think MLG really has pretty much the dominance to pick whatever it picks is
They
going to
define
be.
it, yeah.
It's pretty much going to be the big game, and I'm assuming a lot of people are going to have their consoles picked by then. But I don't know. It's really strange to see what they're going to do because Halo doesn't come out fast enough, so it's not going to be out until next year. So they're obviously going to stick with Call of Duty. I would assume the next Call of Duty will be at an MLG event for sure.
And haven't they kind of dropped Halo recently in most of their events and gone with Call of Duty?
Yeah. Halo really, it was pretty much, it's technically released, but it's been in the beta stage for competitive play for pretty much since its release.
Mm-hmm.
Now there's a lot of tournaments coming out, like AGL has gotten a lot bigger. They have a lot more money. So a lot of the pros that retired, or so-called retired at 20 years old, but they've come back.
It's time to
play.
hang it up.
Yeah, a lot of them have come back to play because these tournaments are increasing popularity and there's a lot more money in them now. So AGL and UMG, there's actually like a $10,000 tournament coming up soon for UMG, and that brought back like two of the best players that Halo's ever seen, like Roy and Roy's on Team Classic or something. But anyway, they're just like, I think basically MLG. If MLG takes Halo, then the Xbox One wins for competitive gaming.
Yeah.
How does on a game like Call of Duty where it is for PS3 and Xbox 360, how does the community kind of choose which one? Like when you're hosting an event, how do they decide, okay, this one's going to be on 360, this one's going to be on PS3?
One of the big factors that they did was obviously they already had all of the Xboxes, so they didn't have to go out and buy a bunch of PS3s or anything like that. And I'm pretty sure they had sponsors. I'm pretty sure they basically said for console-wise, I think they've always had, except for Call of Duty. At one point, Call of Duty had PS3.
For one event, yeah.
Yeah, and there wasn't that many people there. A lot of Xbox players that were playing it switched over. But it's going to be interesting to see this time because it looks like there's a lot more people going over to play PS3. So I'm wondering if, MLG is going to take that into account and say, okay, well, since there's more people playing PS3, let's get PS3 or PS4s. Let's all get PS4s. But
if they get Sony involved, if Sony to sponsor that and give them all PS4s, like give MLG enough PS4s, then Sony wins for sure, and they wouldn't even think about
sponsoring, right?
And right now, MLG is really heavily partnered with Microsoft and Twitch. Like Xbox just released at their E3. That was one big thing they did release was that they're partnered with Twitch. That's huge because of all the people that watch Twitch. So I don't know where that's going because MLG's partnered with Twitch. So can they really just be like, oh, we're gonna have PS4, and then they have these big tournaments that are broadcasted on Twitch?
See, when I saw that announcement with Twitch, I was like, wow, that's great for esports. And then I realized it's not for esports like whatsoever. It's people doing like tutorials or just
Yeah,
sort of like, hey, watch me beat the campaign for Last of Us or something like that, right? It's that kind of play.
yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
consoles.
I
Jeez,
gotta
why don't
make
we just
I
all buy PCs?
Yeah, that's
well,
where I think.
because if we
we
were
got
all in the master race, Frank, then it would no longer be the master race.
We would still have segregation because then the StarCraft people would still feel like they're at the top because
That's
they're
true.
jerks like that, right?
That's true.
And then
Yep.
the LOL people would still be looked at the bottom.
Yeah, the
There'd
very
still be
bottom.
segregation. Don't worry, John. Your caste system would exist.
Doesn't matter what. Yeah, like you're all driving cars, but some people still have better cars.
Yeah.
That would be when you said good luck, have fun in a game. It would just be like, do you own a console? Have you ever played a console?
Do you even know?
Noob.
I don't like that when people do good luck, have fun. When you're playing like an SC2 game, the other guy just says good luck. That like
Yeah, I
kind of
want
like
the whole thing.
yeah, like
I always
what
say
is this?
GL GL GL.
I'm that
It's
guy.
like,
for sure.
man,
I
GL
always just
GL
GL
GL.
GL.
doesn't want me to have fun. I won't let him have fun.
I don't. Yeah, I'm like
Well, I
Doors.
think it's implied that you're gonna have fun regardless,
I'm like
No,
Dorzane.
but
I'm
you're
like,
definitely not gonna have luck.
No, man.
I don't know. Whenever
It's all
people
about
like, I still don't know why this happens, but once in a while you'll get the person who you'll be like, good luck, have fun, and they respond with like, beep and beep. I hope you beep and die. It's like what? Like I just started this game, and you're already raging on my face. So yeah, that's
For sure.
I don't know why that's going.
Master
Yeah,
race.
that's what Xbox Live is though. Like
Oh,
that's
God.
the reason. Like people like since I switched, like PC gaming is so much more fun, and I realize that's a lot more expensive for people to get into. Like console is just so much easier. You go spend $500 and then $60 for a game, and that's you're set. You only need one game if you're playing competitive.
Yeah,
And
that's
for
what the peasants do.
yeah,
So,
but for PC, like I bought a PC and I spent like $2,000 on it.
yeah.
I have two monitors. That's you already have to like $2,500, and then you pay for StarCraft $60. And
Yeah,
Master
but you
then
pay
race.
once, then you get to play it for 15 years. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
which
This is
is
true.
that's one benefit. You don't have to buy Call of Duty every year for sure.
Oh
Yeah,
But
you
man,
know,
still,
no
for
one saw
$2,000
Call of Duty
PC,
coming.
I think I bought Castlevania Symphony of Night on 3 different systems. Bought it for my PlayStation. I bought it for my my PS portable, and then I think I bought it. Might have been on the Virtual Console. I don't know, but yeah, they're milking money off of you like crazy on consoles.
yeah,
Oh,
for
You've just
sure.
seen the same game 3 times. Am I an idiot? Yes.
Yeah. Like there was a funny picture that there was on Reddit about the new Call of Duty game, and they said they might as well just start calling it 2K14 because it's
Yeah,
basically what it is. Just that
exactly.
every year.
It's the first-person shooter to be rolled into the EA Sports every year. They come up with another. Actually, like every 6 months. So it's like the
Yeah.
fall and the
Fallen Cub, yeah.
yeah,
See,
the
I don't
fall and
really. I
spring.
think that's good for competitive gaming. I think that's the reason why Halo got dropped because there was such a drastic change from Halo 2, Halo 3, which was so competitive and so fun. And then they just made this random game, Halo Reach, and everyone had to change the way they played the game and change the gun they use and change the way they shoot. And then they moved into Halo 4, which went back to a little bit like Halo 3, but still had this like the stupid parts of Reach. So it was just like a shitty Halo 3 until right now they've actually fixed the game to where it's really good. It's almost as good as Halo 3. It's on the same level. They've made some new competitive maps, and now they're actually working with the community and working with the pro players that they hired on at 343 to actually make a good game, but it's too late because they already lost. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what happens with Halo 5.
Yeah.
Next year.
Time will tell.
Next year. All right, we are pushing 10 o'clock local New Brunswick time. So I do want to get to the lauded lightning round, but I will give you guys a chance to say some last words, plug anything you're doing, where we can follow you if you're streaming, doing anything like that, Chobo Team League matches.
Steve, you can go ahead.
I mean, with the new consoles and everything, I stopped competitive gaming for a while. But I think with the new consoles starting up, I'd like to take it up again. And also, AtLANtic Gaming is going to start looking into adding on PC games to the events, like a lot more towards PC over console for until the console prices go down a little bit. Because right now, I mean, I can't see buying a lot of those consoles. I mean, and we already have good PCs, so definitely something we're gonna look into.
Good ideas.
All right. Well, where can we follow you?
I
What?
think the Twitter is
Shout out
actually
your Twitter.
under his picture, but yeah, like, where else can we follow you other than
Oh
AtLANtic?
yeah. So there's Atlantic Gaming. I didn't realize that. I thought it was my Twitter. So Atlantic Gaming is under there, as well
Yeah.
as we have our Facebook page, um, which I mean is facebook.com/Atlantic Gaming League. Anything we update most of what we have on there. Like this episode here is actually on there right now.
Nice.
So any updates that we ever have are usually updated on there as quick as possible. Events or anything like that. We also have obviously the Twitter under there, and any questions that you guys have, you can just post on Atlantic Gaming, and just ask anything that you're wondering about. See what if you have any questions or anything.
Cool.
Nice.
All right, you can follow me at a Gallant Night. It's actually 2 I's instead of L's. But
Oh, John.
that's my bad though. I messaged the other guy with the Twitter account and he won't give it to me. So
What?
and he
Don't
has
we
zero.
have something like that? We have a guy
He has
like
0
that.
followers. So shout out to Sasha. She's probably watching this. My girlfriend. Shout out to my parents who make this possible for me to game all day and not yell at me. Shout out to our sponsors, Blue Spurs Consulting. Shout out to JP for this awesome State of the Game shirt. You guys should all watch him on Roleplay, and he streams fun games all the time. He's cool.
That he does. He has a new show on Fridays with Weed where they just talk about video games, and it's
Yeah,
awesome.
isn't it 8-bit or something?
Yeah, I think 8-bit stories or just 8-bit.
Yeah. So that's wicked. Yeah, that's pretty much it for me. Oh,
Very
shout
well.
out to Purple Stuff in the chat and Sinjin. They're our friends. They game with us every
Yeah.
day.
Oh, nice. Well,
Was that
Without
the guy who
them,
was
we
saying
couldn't
you were
describe
pale
it
and
possible.
need to
Yeah,
smile?
they come to the lands all the time. They made Atlantic Gaming just as much as possible as me and Steve.
Which we might have one this weekend. We might
LAN.
stream it.
Nice. My dad's getting married, or else I'd come. And on that note, we cue the lightning round. The video's not going to work. XSplit is a steaming pile of horse feces. Oh my good lord, it worked.
Now that you said that.
Now-
Why
now
is it so
you feel bad.
unreliable?
I don't know, man.
All that a name.
It's like
Weird.
the Tony Tran of broadcasting systems.
Oh, snap.
Ouch.
That's good. That's
Nice.
good.
All right, Jack and Steven, I won't bore you with the rules and regulations of the lightning round because I know you've watched the 39 episodes that preceded this one. But for those of the people in the chat who have joined us to watch their friends from Atlantic Gaming endure Esports Canada TV and the subsequent lightning round, I will tell you that the lightning round is this. It is 10 questions, physically, emotionally demanding questions that must be answered lightning fast by both of our guests. Since we have 2 guests, I will pit them against each other in a free-for-all best of 10.
Crap.
If it comes down to a tie, which always happens leading into the 10th question, I will pick a winner at random or award someone from the chat 11 points, and they will become the winner. So I will ask you once and once only, are you ready for the lightning round?
I'm ready.
Yep, ready.
Question
luck,
number
gentlemen.
1. What was that, Frank?
I said good luck. I always say good luck. Good
Oh,
luck.
okay. Question number 1. Always a hockey question. Usually within the first 2. Like to kick it off with a little puck action. We are in the Stanley Cup Finals, so it's very apropos. Hawks versus Bruins predictions for tonight. The game has just started. I need your prediction.
The game has just started.
Hawks 3-2 in overtime.
Whoa. Another overtime.
I'm gonna go with Hawks 2-1, no overtime.
You both picked the Hawks, which was the correct answer. But Jack did pick overtime, which was the more correct answer. So he will get 1.5 points, and Steven will get 1. And just so anyone watching is aware, since these are 2 fellow New Brunswickers, I'm going to be very biased tonight in the positive.
Uh-oh.
The farther away, like our Vancouver guests get negative numbers. So
Oh, yeah.
it's terrible.
They get their
Don't
points
even have
4
to
hours
try.
later.
Yeah.
Question number 2. 1.5 to 1 for Jack. Frank, did you add this one?
I did.
See, that screwed me up because I have a similar question 2 later,
Oh,
and
snap.
I thought this one was done.
That just means
Uh-oh.
you're not as good as me because I thought of it ahead of you. Go ask my question, John. I'll give you a fourth question. Don't worry, you ask my question.
I want to know. Oh, what are you doing?
I'm not doing anything.
Stop changing it, Frank. Question number 2. It's the most slack lightning round. Your favorite weapon in the Halo universe?
BR.
I'm gonna go with the sniper.
What was your answer, sorry, Jack?
The battle rifle.
Uh,
It's like Chad agrees.
well, chat has never led me wrong before. BR will take it. It was only one person that said BR. Yeah, Chad agrees, that one guy. Yeah, points for everyone. I'm pretty impartial to the Halo universe, so points for everyone. 2.5 to 2. You're both living in or around the Fredericton area, correct?
Yep.
That was not a question. That was just...
I was hoping
So
points.
points for that.
I was also living in Fredericton for quite a long time, and I did a fair bit of partying, a little drinking,
Just a little bit.
a little dancing, carrying on, howling at the moon.
Oh,
I want to know. I used to do the Wednesday through Saturday drinking. I want to know on a Wednesday and on a Thursday night the best bars in Fredericton.
Wednesday, Nicky's East, Thursday, Dolan.
No, not Dolan's. It's gonna be the 20. Thursday? Yeah. Well, in the summer.
John,
Or-
is it summer? Does it matter?
This is. There's no more information given.
Okay. I'm gonna go with Nikki on Wednesday, but on Thursday it's gonna be the 20. Oh yeah.
Chad agrees. 20.
You are both incorrect. The best night for Nicky's Ease is never night. Wednesday night is the cellar, because you get wings and pitchers. Super cheap. It's like $8. And Thursday night is Dolan's, actually.
Yeah.
So you get half a point for that. But you said 20 isn't Thursday. 20 is like Sunday. You can go there. Or there's like that one Saturday out of the year where everyone decides to go there. It's like the Cougar Bar in Fredericton.
Nice. Every day is a Dolan day.
Every day's a Dolan day. We have a bar here in St. John called O'Leary's, which is like the St. John Dolan's. It's weird. A point each for that. Screw it. What is it? 3.5 to 3.5 to 3. Question 4 was also Halo related, but Frank seems to have switched it on me, which I appreciate. This one's also drinking related because of our sponsor, Alpine. Live here to get it. Your favorite? It was your favorite Halo weapon to double wield in Halo 2, but now it's your favorite
That's
drink.
stupid.
Your favorite
Sorry.
drink to double wield. So you're double fisting. What's in each hand?
Oh. I'm gonna go
Coors
with.
Light.
Oh.
Silver Bullet, man.
Vodka and Red Bull.
Vodka and Red Bull. There goes your Monster sponsorship. Coors Light, no one drinks the Silver Bullet. That gives you the runs. No points awarded to anyone.
Whoa,
The
now
answer
you
was
can
either
vodka Red Bull.
Alpine or Vodka Waters.
So biased.
Question 5. Still 3.5 to 3. Question 5. I want to know, between Fredericton and St. John, give me 3 positives that Fredericton has over St. John, but 1 negative. So a negative that St. John has over Fredericton.
Ooh.
So 3 positives for Fredericton.
3 positives for Fredericton and a negative
One
for
negative.
Fredericton as well.
All right. So Fredericton is the capital.
Mm-hmm.
UMB campus is bigger and better
Mm-hmm.
in Fredericton. We have shooter FPS tournaments here, and the negative is we do not have StarCraft tournaments here.
All right, fair enough.
Don't have StarCraft tournaments. I
Haha,
don't think we've ever had a Barcraft here, have we?
no.
Nope. I was contacted by a girl who wanted to run one, and I never heard back from her.
Oh,
Good,
okay.
good
well,
luck
that's a nice
following
thing.
up that one, Steve.
All right, so obviously there's more gamers in Fredericton. Right off the bat, more places to drink in Fredericton. What else do we have? I'm pretty sure there's more bars in Fredericton than St. John.
You're waffling.
Maybe he's thinking like behind the rock in the
I'm
field.
I'm trying to go behind. Trying to think of around Jack's points there to not select the same ones.
You can double up. That's fine.
You can, yeah. You can.
Well, the main one that's for St. John is obviously there's no bar craft. We have never had one. Hopefully, maybe someday esports would like to set one up sometime.
God
maybe.
bless that local saint that runs Barcraft here in St. John. The capital. St. John was supposed to be the capital, but it was too close to the water. Port City. So no points awarded for that one. What were your other two? Bigger campus. No one cares.
Better,
No one cares about that.
UMB Fredericton is so much better.
Well, it is true, yes. The negative I was looking for is the giant hill. All of Fredericton is built on one giant hill, and to get to point A to point B is like
That's true.
a
That's
20-minute
one.
walk up a mountain. No points awarded. Screw you, Fredericton bastards. Question number 6. Big Halo fans, we're going to continue on that trend. I want to know what perks or extras came with the Halo 3 Legendary bundle. If you purchased the Legendary package
Helmet.
for Halo 3,
How are they going to compete, John?
what perks came with it?
You get a helmet and a book that showed you drawings and images that were made for the designing of the characters.
Pretty makes
And
sense because you
You
got,
got
the
a special
Legendary
edition. You got a special edition disc with all these features on it. It was called Special Features, but I never ever put it in my Xbox once.
You still have it?
Yes, I do.
That's
can
exactly
prove it.
what he said because he got the Halo Special Edition, and so I didn't care about the memorabilia much. I just wanted to kill things, so I got the regular game.
I'm on board with you, Steven.
That was a trap
According to
question.
Wikipedia, there was a game disc and manual, a poster, interactive Xbox 360 disc, the Bestiarum, or Bestiarum? Not sure what that is.
Yeah, that's the book of Beast.
Actually, for the Legendary, it says it's a DVD,
Oh,
so that's minus 1 point.
They're all DVDs.
Should really study up on that stuff. So minus 1, and Steven agrees. Screw special editions. I just want to kill things, so plus 1 for him. So what are we at now? 3.
4.5.
You're at 2.5 now, aren't you? And then Steven's at 4.
Sure.
Oof.
Tight.
Question 7, MLG fans. I want to know where the last 3 MLGs were held.
oh.
Go ahead.
Anaheim. Let me think. Anaheim was one of them.
Yes.
There was. There was one close to us here. Was it? I don't know if Raleigh was one of the most recent ones or not. And
Fredericton.
yeah, Fredericton.
Providence, Anaheim, and Raleigh.
Providence,
Did you
Anaheim,
search
and
that?
Raleigh.
That was so fast.
Definitely it.
No, I just listened to him and I knew Providence, but I didn't.
Yeah,
listen.
Providence is the third one.
Providence is not the third one. They didn't come to Providence. They came to Providence in 2000.
Oh, it wasn't the most recent.
Wasn't that the?
No, that was the winter finals for 2 seasons ago. That was the one that I went to.
Oh, I thought it was the furthest away. Let me see.
Nope.
Dallas?
Fail. Let me pull it up here.
I've been
So-
watching way too much StarCraft to follow
It
where
was-
the MLGs are.
It was Dallas, and Raleigh. Or Raleigh.
Rayleigh.
Raleigh.
Raleigh, yeah.
Hey, Raleigh. Anaheim is the next one at the end of June.
Plus, there's been
so-
too much Call of Duty.
It hasn't
to
happened
watch
yet.
that anyway. You should have asked when the last Halo tournaments were at MLG.
I had that question written down, but John was all like, "That's stupid." They don't
I don't think
That's
you
a
did.
good one because that's when I watched it. That would have been.
Told you, John.
Why did Dallas get 2 in a row? That's bull poop.
Because Call of Duty is special with Hicks that live in Dallas.
Hey now, you live in
playing.
Wasis, Jack. I'd watch your mouth. Question 8. No points awarded. You guys are terrible esports fans. New Brunswick is famous for its license plate mottos or slogans. There's been 2 or 3 recently. These were also featured in various New Brunswick commercials. And I want to know one of the mottos or slogans used for New Brunswick in the last 10 years.
Gotta live here to get it.
There's no place like.
There's no what?
That's it.
No place like.
Like,
Oh,
I don't know. I don't know them.
Yeah, it's what is it?
Fredericton. There's no place like.
You almost
like
got it.
Be in this place?
That is correct. Be in this place.
Oh, that's.
The other one was Nouveau Brunswick Magnifique.
I think that's the one that's on my license plate.
Was the popular one.
Not the French one though.
Be in this place.
Be
nice.
in this place, which is terrible. So another point for Steven. Jack, you are in a bit of a hole here. You're at 2.5. Steven is at 5. Question number 9. Time to make up some points here. Halo was announced for PS4 at launch. Do you pick a PS4 over an Xbox?
Yes.
It's not, but wait, are we saying that
This is a pure hypothetical.
Okay,
No, Microsoft contacted me and they
yeah, I
said,
was like, wait,
we
wait,
want
wait,
you to
hold
release
on.
this
yeah,
on
wait,
the show
is it
tonight.
not for Xbox anymore, or is it for both?
Are you silent because you don't want to give more info, Jay?
I don't know. I'm trying to think. I didn't.
Well, if you say it's for both, then they're obviously going to pick Microsoft.
Yeah.
Okay, then it's for PS4 only.
Then yes, I would say.
Yeah, PS4.
And Wii U.
Ooh, I play the Wii U.
Never ever buy a Wii U.
You guys have no brand loyalty. You lose all points that you have. And you're both at 0, which means you're tied going into the final question. Question number 10. Wild how this happens every single time. As we all know, as we talked about before, Microsoft had a bit of a fail during E3. Some people thought it was awful. Some people thought it was worse than awful. I want to hear your Microsoft E3 announcement impression in whatever hilarious character voice you choose. Whether it's a pirate voice, whether it's a cartoon dog, as Nick's song. I want to hear in 10 to 15 seconds a sum up of the Microsoft E3 announcement in your own words, as if you were announcing Xbox.
Are we trying to sell the Xbox here, or?
Do your impression of Microsoft announcing Xbox One at E3.
Ooh, okay. Go ahead.
And
Jack.
the more hilarious
You're
and
first on this one.
the more hilarious
No,
and
go
intricate
ahead.
the impression
Got it.
is, the
got
more
this.
points will be awarded.
Go for it.
Alright. So I guess I'll go because Jack doesn't know what he's gonna do. Okay, so here we have the Xbox One. Now, we're gonna put this $100 over the PS4. Yeah, we'll make you pay more. You're not allowed to trade your games. Screw you guys. But also, we're gonna make you. You have to sign on every 24 hours with an internet connection. It's too bad, isn't it? We have all these great games out here. Let's just advertise like 2 of them. You know, that'd be good. Yeah, so buy our product. You know, we hate you guys, but we like your money.
Fantastic. Jack, your turn to follow that up.
Alright guys, I'm here to introduce not the PS4, we're going to introduce Xbox One. So, the Xbox One has many great features as long as you have an internet connection. That means you can play the Xbox One in about 13 countries across the whole world. Almost as good as our friends here at Sony. But we don't need all those countries because we only need a few. Because only in North America do people play first-person shooters at a competitive level, except those 2 teams from Europe and 1 team from Australia that come down to North America to play with us. So we're gonna make our system with the Kinect, and it's gonna watch you all the time. Even when you're watching TV, it's gonna be watching you. So we can sell the secrets to NSA and make more money off you. Thank you.
I like how that transitioned from Australian into backwoods hick, back to Australian, into English, and then back to Australian once more. Steven, I don't think I have to tell you who won that.
Yeah.
You made a valiant effort, but Jack pulled out all the stops. I'm a sucker for an Aussie accent. He brought the thunder from down under, and I do have to award him the win with half a point. So he wins half a point to 0. But actually, we've been having a pretty brutal season of the Lightning Round, and half a point, Jack, does qualify you for the Lightning Round Tournament of Champions held at the end of the year, where we bring back all the highest scoring members of the Lightning Round to compete in a battle royale of Lightning Round questions.
Nice.
Congratulations.
That's not a real thing, so do not get excited
Chat's
about
asking
that.
for a golf clap.
Golf clap?
So.
Congratulations, brother. That's good. That's a good ending. Strong. And strong.
So, guys, thank you very much for being on the show this evening. I wish you all the best for AtLANtic Gaming. I guess I can turn off the Lightning Round music. As epic as I'd like to make this outro. Thank you so much for coming on such short notice, and I
Thanks for
can't
having
wait to
us.
see
Yeah.
big bad things coming out of AtLANtic Gaming, because I live here and I like to see other people trying to work hard as I do, which isn't very hard whatsoever. So whatever you do is a valiant effort.
Thanks.
Nick and Frank, words from you two.
Oh, it feels like there's so much stuff happening, especially coming up in July. So maybe I'll just name some of them. I know July 30th we have Barcrafts all
June
across
30th, June
sorry,
30th.
June 30th, not July. June 30th. We have Barcrafts all across Canada. I know we have Toronto covered, so make sure you guys figure out where your Barcrafts are and head to them. John, do you have one that you're planning?
No, because I'll be in Toronto and Ottawa that weekend.
So there's nobody to hold the reins on.
There is no one to hold the Barcraft in St. John or the rest of New
So
Brunswick.
there's that. And
If
then
only
on-
there were two dedicated people who love esports so much and Barcrafts that they would hold one somewhere in New Brunswick, whether it be St. John or the capital, even.
Yeah,
but
I
no.
can't think of any.
The capital.
So there's obviously that. Check where your local Barcrafts are. July the 7th is going to be the overclock.net tournament. They're actually going to put together Dota, Team Fortress 2, CSGO is going to be their main 3. And then there's either going to be an invite or an open bracket. We're still working on it into a StarCraft tournament. Those guys run some amazing production, and everybody's a winner when they watch, not only by winning money, but also watching some high caliber play. So you guys definitely keep your eyes on that and watch the Esports Canada Twitter to make sure you follow that. Maybe I'll link it in chat later on when Nick is talking.
That.
And maybe Nick could do it while I'm talking. That'd be super awesome.
Maybe I will
Don't
link
worry.
that
Maybe
stuff.
you should. So there's that, and then on July 13th, 14th, we have our Icy Cup. If you guys can donate, you guys should definitely check that out. Nick linked the people. And then on July 27th will be the Fiber Op. What are we in? Spring Cup? No, Summer Cup. I'm an idiot. And so that'll be pretty exciting too. And Nick and I should be casting for that. There'll be Dota, LOL, and StarCraft, and when more details are announced, we'll let you guys know as well.
Fantastic! And of course, the Canada Cup is going on for Dota right now. I believe it's listed on Team Liquid, so please check that out because NY John and our boy Adam are casting that, I do believe.
Andrew.
Yep. I put his name in the ticker as Adam,
Awesome.
so I apologize.
Oh, poor guy.
Andrew, you're going to do so well in the lightning round when you're on the show. Don't you worry about it, bud. Thank you very much to our guests tonight, Jack Lynn, Stephen Leblanc from AtLANtic Gaming. You can follow them on Twitter, Gallant Knight, but Gallant is spelled with 2 I's instead of L's, or something to that effect. And follow AtLANtic Gaming on Twitter as well, AtLANtic Gaming _, and on Facebook.com/AtLANtic Gaming League to keep up to date with everything going on in New Brunswick and the surrounding areas. Or you can follow me on Twitter, because I live here too, @QuinOfTheNet, or my 2 lovely hosts, @ESCJovian and @ESCSongers. Follow Barcrafts going on in your area, and of course donate for the upcoming Icy Cup being held in Toronto at the Home Story Cup type event being held in Pickering, Ontario at the lovely Ken Silva's father's house, I believe. And I'm hopefully flying out for that to host it all for you lovely people, because I know you can't get enough of my nasally insufferable voice.
Man, I don't know how we're all going to fit all that awesome in one basement.
That's so much awesome.
Gotta have it.
So tune in next week, guys. Our guests will be Canada Cups, NY John, and Andrew Divine. And of course, then we have Staticus coming up, I believe, the week after, or the week after that, to talk more about some FPS and some CSGO, because he's been casting lately for EA. And yeah, those are all the events happening. Congratulations to Stardust and everyone involved with DreamHack. It was a fantastic production. And congratulations to Henderlisk, who will be headed to Home Story
Yeah,
Cup,
that's
I do
awesome
believe. He
news.
did qualify for that.
Yeah.
So,
Good guy, Henry.
good job, Henry.
Only guy representing Canada. So
Only guy.
Stoked about that.
And probably only one of a handful of North Americans.
Yeah.
So that does it for us tonight, guys. Make sure to follow Esports Canada at esports_Canada on Twitter and facebook.com/esportscanada, and join our website to join the forums on the conversation and maybe volunteer with us, esportscanada.com or .org or .ca, because we're baller as shit.
Nick's logged in under the UR account.
Oh, poop.
They're so
Like,
mad right
why
now.
is UR Gaming promoting our Icy Cup? I'm like, wait,
UR
he
Gaming
really
loves
likes
Icy
us? He just loves us, huh?
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
See ya.
Yeah.
and friends and ideas and philosophy and spirit.
To get some more